Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County, and this was recommended quite a few times after I told in multiple videos that I love storytelling songs, and also in The Gambler that we did by Kenny Rogers. Incredible. That was so good. And Coward of the County was recommended many times. The title alone speaks to me. So here we are. I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump in.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He had never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama named him Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. I looked after Tommy 'cause he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now, it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man.
Wow. Already, yo, this is incredible. So this is you gotta pay attention with this. That's amazing how this how this narrative is constructed, point of view wise, because it's about Tommy, but it's like from his uncle, the brother of his father, and then the chorus is the last words of Tommy's father. So you really got to keep storyline straight here. I love that. That's great. And they consider Tommy the coward of the county, but it's just basically because his father told him not to choose violence, basically, huh? That's so good. But something always told me, and that's then from the uncle's perspective speaking, I believe, that they were reading Tommy wrong. Because he remembered what his father said to him, and his father died in prison, so he knows what it is to make mistakes or go not turn the other cheek, and just to choose, to fight to be a man. And then you learn maybe that's not always the case. Sometimes you're forced to do so. But then you end up like his father. His father says, "Hey, man, you don't want to end up where I am." Wow, so much complexities to it, and the human psyche, which, oh man, that's amazing. That is so good. Walk away from trouble if you can, he said. If you can. Sometimes you can't. Woo!
You don't have to fight to be a man. There's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms, he didn't have to prove he was a man.
Hey.
One day while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there was 3 of them. Tommy opened up the door, saw his Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. He reached above the fireplace and took down his daddy's picture. As his tears fell on his daddy's face, he heard these words again. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man.
Holy moly. That's tough. Like I said, sometimes you can't. Or, you have a visceral reaction already just to words in a song, just because you can picture what he's saying, about, them assaulting and abusing Becky with 3 people. Those words start to, mean less and less. You want to stick to those words, your advice your father has given you, but dang. Oh man, and so well written, the torn dress, the shattered look, it was more than he could stand. You really get a feeling in your stomach when you hear this. And man, he's singing, this man, his voice, incredible. It's just like, it's so calm and measured, but it's a very nice tone and pitch. And what I really liked as well, like, going to take the picture down to your father just because you don't want to look at the picture because you're about to basically ignore his advice or betray his final words, or so you don't want to look it down. You're taking it down, and then as his tears fell on his daddy's face, like it looks like his father is crying, maybe of disappointment, like, son, what are you gonna do? But he's crying. Oh God, that's a vivid image, man. And then he hears those words again, going straight back in the chorus, and those words are flashing by. Wow. Hey, as a writer, I'm not a songwriter, but this is like a 3-act structure. We're in the second act. We're in the middle, which is sometimes the hardest one, but this is like pivoting and accelerating the story, propelling it forwards. To condense that in such a small space, that is the true art. Yeah, I like it. I'm a novelist, but we need a few thousand words, 100,000 maybe sometimes, to tell a story, and to do it in this. That's crazy. Wow.
Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yellow's leaving."
Oh.
But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back. He let them have it all. When Tommy left the bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can.
Yeah.
Now please don't think I'm weak, I didn't turn the other cheek. And Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man." Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
Wow. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, sometimes, people only understand violence. And he said, "I promised you, Dad, but I walk away when I can." But in this case, that's definitely understandable. I just reacted to this song, "Wait in the Truck," which was also that type of story. And it's some of the scenarios that we would play in our heads if this injustice or violence would be and then of course there's a justice system, but in your mind is like, I wish I could take care of this myself. That's how the human brain works. Even if some people don't want to admit it or say it out loud, that's just how we operate, man. That's just how we operate. At least a lot of us. It's in our nature. Doesn't always mean that we act on it, but it doesn't mean the thoughts have not crossed our minds. And he called him Yellow. Now in the beginning, they called Tommy Yellow, which means like, is this a synonym for coward or in the U.S.? The yellow mellow fellow. But I really like the moment, and that's in every story or movie or song. Like you could hear a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. Hey, that means business. He was outnumbered and he locked the door. He had all this pent-up resentment bottled up inside of him for years, and he let loose. 3-1. Yo, Tommy is not to be messed with. Wow. Incredible storytelling. I liked how the final chorus then flipped the perspective, and Tommy was talking to his father. Yeah, man. That's just how storytelling needs to be, man. That is a prime example you can study, and if you want to learn as a songwriter, even just a storyteller, that's it. That's it. That's one of the bars you can try to reach for. Whoo! Awesome stuff, man. Thank you so much to all the people who recommended this and for being here. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.